Hi, I'm Clara Stack. I play Lilly Bainbridge in Welcome to Derry, and this is Pop Culture with Pat.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. I'm so excited to be joined by today's guests. Today I'm talking to Clara Stack, who plays Lily in It, Welcome to Derry. Clara, thank you so much for your time today.
Of course, thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm so excited to talk to you about the series. I've gotten to see the first 5 episodes up to this point and absolutely loving what I'm seeing so far. So, just going to give you guys a heads up that this is going to contain spoilers for at least episodes 1 and 2. So that way, if you guys aren't caught up, make sure to do so now. But yeah, without further ado, Claire, I just wanted to start off as far as can you talk about the audition process for the series and what information you got about your character initially?
Yeah, so I auditioned for both Lily and March through a self-tape back in December of 2022, I think, which was super long time ago. And I mean, I love the audition material when I got it, but I after I did the audition, I honestly forgot about it because I didn't hear anything for like 2 months. And then 2 months after I auditioned, I got offered the role of Lily, which was so exciting. In regards of information I got about her character, her description described her as a intensely and unusually emotional, intelligent, and smart girl who has been through a lot regarding the loss of her dad and getting bullied at school and previously spending her summer at Juniper Hill. But even with that short description, I could automatically tell that Lily was such a layered and deep character, which made me so excited to play her.
So as far as yeah, the information that you got, how did you, what was kind of your approach to getting into the mindset for your character? Was there any kind of research or prep that you did to play the character for the series?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think a lot of research on the time period and the 1960s was really important. I mean, I love kind of the visual aesthetic of the 60s, so researching the clothing and the slang that people used and the music was really fun. Getting dressed up in 60s costumes every day and getting hair done and walking into set and seeing everything look like it was from 1962 was really cool. And yeah, like I mentioned, 60s music was really important. Me and Matilda, who plays Marge, actually made a 60s playlist as Lily and Marge to help us get into character, which was really fun. And also, I referencing the book and the first two It movies to kind of get a tone of the universe and kind of understand the mysteries surrounding Derry. And also specific to my character, kind of researching and talking to people that have dealt with grief and kind of understanding how people cope with that and the guilt that Lily kind of carries with her daily because of the loss of her dad was really important to understand for me. So I think just doing research on grief and how it's prevalent in people's everyday life was something that I really wanted to focus on for Lily.
Yeah, and so and coming into this, because I know you said you referenced like the couple movies, the mini series. Had you watched those prior to getting the role, or was this all kind of something like new that you watched in preparing preparation for this?
Yeah, I watched the first It movie when I was maybe like 9, actually, and it totally horrified me, but it was also super cool. So it was definitely a full circle moment to have watched that movie when I was so young, and then to get to be a part of the universe now. It's super cool.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. It's crazy. I mean, everyone knows who Pennywise is. Even I have a niece who's 3 years old, and she knows who Pennywise is. She'll literally call by his name Pennywise, which kind of
Oh my gosh.
blows my mind. She hasn't seen any
Totally.
of the movies or anything, obviously, but it's just like, wow, like even little kids like that know who the character is.
Yeah.
Now, we have to talk about the ending of episode 1 because I know a lot of people were kind of I know my first reaction when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh, what?" Like I assumed it was all like a dream maybe or something that your character had. And we find out that's not the case in episode 2. So, can you just talk about like the prep and filming of that ending scene in 1? Because I'm sure there was a lot that was going on there.
Yeah, definitely. I think something that was really important for me was kind of thinking about everything that Lily had gone through leading up to this moment and how she's kind of walking into that movie theater with a lot of guilt regarding Maddie going missing. And I think for the actual scene itself, I think kind of spending time before the scene by myself, just really getting into that, vulnerable and emotional space was really important. And honestly, just kind of picturing what was going on in front of me, kind of just really trying to portray truthfully that initial shock and fear of seeing this demon baby, coming out at all of us. And I will say, having Andy and Barbara on set made all the difference when prepping for those type of horrific, intense scenes because they made set feel so comfortable for us, and they made such an environment that felt so safe and felt like family, where I think we all really felt comfortable enough to just experiment and try new things and kind of just let go to get to that emotional dark place and really just show that on camera.
Yeah, which is super important. But yeah, I mean, your character goes through a lot, at least from what I've seen so far, a lot of emotional stuff that you have to go through. So, I mean, hats off, your performance in the series has been amazing to watch.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And can you talk about too just some of your other favorite memories of working with the rest of the kids on this cast and just kind of developing the dynamic and the relationship that your characters have in the series?
Yeah, I mean, we all kind of clicked with each other instantly when first meeting each other. One of the first memories I have was we all did a screening of the first It movie when we first met each other, which was kind
Nice.
of a great way to bond. But yeah, I think our chemistry offset was kind of shows on screen too. We all got super close because I also think when you're going through something that can be this intense and horrific at times, you kind of just all bond together and doing like super crazy scenes together really just bonded us and we all just really got along and we're super close and also spending time together offset, exploring Toronto where we were filming, going shopping and seeing new places and trying new foods, just experiences like that I think really made all the difference and I think um, the experiences we had offset definitely show up on screen.
I know you can definitely tell the chemistry that you guys have in the series, which is great. And, kind of just talking about preparing for some of the emotional scenes or the scenes, I should say, when you have to act terrified. How do you kind of get yourself to that point, especially sometimes when there's probably not really a lot there for you to go off of? Specifically, I'm thinking of like the pickle scene where you see like your dad coming after you and it's, like this CGI like monster. So how do you kind of get to that point of being so scared?
Yeah, definitely what you're seeing in the series is not what we were always reacting to in person. So, kind of like I mentioned before, I think it was really just important to kind of think about everything that Lily has gone through and how that affects her daily life and how that, affects her reactions to things. And I think just really getting to that deep and dark, vulnerable place. And especially with the pickle scene, I think that reflects on one of the biggest things that she goes through, which is the loss of her dad and the guilt that she carries with her daily because of that. So yeah, I mean, the pickle scene was super intense and fun to film, but I
Yeah.
think it also reflects some of her biggest struggles throughout the series. And I think that's something really special about all these it encounters throughout the series is that they're specific to each character and they kind of reflect based off of each character's fears and insecurities, which I think is really cool and definitely really scary.
And speaking of reacting on stuff, Claire, what did you have to react to when you were filming the pickle scene with all the different jars and everything? Was it just a bunch of pickles or
Yeah, there were actually real pickle jars there, and I was literally sitting in pickles for hours. I've never liked pickles. I don't think I ever
same?
will after this scene. But yeah, you would literally walk into the studio and it would smell like pickles so badly. Like the smell of pickles would literally just hit you.
Uh,
Um, but yeah.
well, I'm right. I've never been a fan of pickles myself. I know a lot of people are like, how can you not like pickles? But never been a fan. And I feel like watching this scene that just reconfirms that for me that I'm just, yeah, not a fan of those things.
Yeah.
As we were talking about, it appears to people as what they fear most. So for you, Clara, what would it appear to you as?
I mean, I definitely think if Pennywise came up to me in its clown form, I would be absolutely horrified. But besides that, I think I fear more kind of like situational fears, and I'm more scared of that than actual physical things. So, I mean, claustrophobia is like a big thing for me. I get really claustrophobic, so I don't know how that would translate to like it form, but I think if it were to trap me in like a small space or like in like a coffin or something, that would totally like freak me out and I'd be really scared.
Yeah, and for you too, just as far as like what do you think makes it so terrifying?
I think the fact that it's not just that it doesn't just have one form and that it's not just this single monster, but it can transform into anything and that it turns your insecurities and fears against you and uses that to scare you, I think is what is really terrifying about it. Um, and I mean, the fact that it can just turn into your specific fears shows that it can really come at anyone at any time because we all have fears, whether we outwardly talk about them or open up about them. We all have things that worry us or we all have doubts. So just the
Yeah.
fact that Pennywise can come after anyone because it feeds off of fear, I think is really horrifying to think about.
Yeah, because and it can change too from what you're afraid of as a kid, and as you get older, that turns into can turn into a whole different other fear. So there's all kinds of ways
Totally.
it can come
Yeah.
after you for sure. And so, what was your reaction, just like in general too? Because I don't want to give away what episode that he shows up in, but what was your reaction to seeing Bill as Pennywise for the first time?
Yeah. I mean, I think for all of us, there was so much anticipation and excitement leading up to that moment. Um, so seeing him for the first time, I think we were all in awe and in shock, but also terrified. I think Bill does such an incredible job at endowing Pennywise as a character. So seeing him in full costume and hair and makeup was definitely insane.
Yeah, oh yeah, I can imagine. And how was it, and just in general too, how was it working with him in the series?
It was great. I mean, it's so crazy to see Bill in person as such a nice guy, but then seeing him as Pennywise being totally horrifying, it was really like crazy to think about those two different things. But yeah, working with him was great. He does such a incredible job. You really acting with him because he kind of just gives us that fear and gives us a lot to work off of. So yeah, working with him, it was so cool to see him in the movies and then to actually see him in person and getting to do scenes with him was so much fun.
It's crazy how he can do a lot of that stuff physically too, like the lip
I
thing,
know.
the
Yeah.
eyeballs. So I'm sure
He
that must have
does,
been weird.
yeah, he does so much of it himself. It's honestly so impressive. I don't know how he does it.
And Claire, was there any moments when you guys were filming that you were genuinely actually kind of creeped out or scared in any particular moments?
I mean, I think on this set, like a lot of the time, it was just a lot of fun, and the environment and the atmosphere was just, like really fun to work in. But definitely there were times where the scenes were kind of crazy. I mean, this pickle scene for me, like I said, I don't like pickles, so that was kind of gross and creepy at times. And also, I think all the it encounters that all the characters have to think about that actually happening in real life and what's going on in front of you. I mean, if I think about it for too long, I definitely kind of get freaked out.
Yeah, I mean, Amanda's in episode two was quite crazy. People think that, this is going to come out afterwards, but seeing that episode one, the opening scene and then the ending scene, it's like, oh, maybe that's all that's going to kind of big scenes that's going to happen in this series. And it's like, no, you got another crazy one couple right here in episode two.
Yeah, it just the intense scenes just keep going throughout this series. It does not stop.
It definitely earns its R rating for sure. How was it because we see this in just the upcoming for the rest of the season, so we see you guys kind of in the sewers. How was it just working in the sewer sets in general and yeah, just filming all the stuff kind of down there?
It was so cool. I mean, I think it was such a full circle moment because the sewers are such a big part of the first It movies. So us getting to work in the sewers in this prequel was honestly so cool. There were definitely a lot of long days working down there, but we were all together and it was also a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. And how was it for you stepping into, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, just stepping into this world created by Stephen King, which is so massive and it's cool in the series that we get to see some of those characters from other books coming in as well. But how was it stepping into this world and also just stepping into the 1960s, a completely different decade?
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned before, I love the whole 60s kind of vibe. So getting to step into that and live in like a completely different time period, filming for so long was really cool. And also just stepping into, like you said, the Stephen King universe was honestly such an honor, and I'm so grateful for that. I think Stephen King is such an incredible author, and I really admire him in so many ways. So getting to kind of work in this universe and like you mentioned, seeing all the kind of hidden Easter eggs in this prequels and seeing things from different universes come into this show is really cool. And like I said, such an honor to be a part of.
Oh yeah, I would say that if you are a Stephen King fan, there is a lot of Easter eggs in the series that people will pick up on, which I think just adds to the fun of the series as well. And what were some of the stuff that you can talk about right now that you were most excited to see translate from when you were reading the script to actually see it and what the final product like once it was on the screen?
I think what I was most excited to see translate from filming or the script to the series was the really intense, horrific scenes because filming those it was definitely scary sometimes, but what you see in the series wasn't necessarily what we were reacting to in real life. I mean, take the ending of episode one, for example. We had like a 3D printed like baby head on a stick to react to as the demon baby. So seeing I mean, filming those scenes and then seeing it with editing and visual effects and lighting and music and seeing it all being put together and seeing all the creative processes just into one and then seeing it throughout the series and actually on screen is really cool.
Yeah, I was talking to Jack and he was saying the thing about the 3D baby head. So at least you had that because I know sometimes he also mentioned I think there was a like a laser pointer at like times too for just kind of like pointing in the
Yeah.
different directions because sometimes it's like they give you a tennis ball and they go, "Okay, imagine this thing being the scariest thing that you've ever seen and you have to react to it." So at least you had like a baby head or something to kind of go off of.
Yeah, I will say Andy did a great job of making the things we were reacting to as real as possible and doing everything to do that. During the pickle scene, I actually had like a rubber, like pickle dad head to react off of on the ground, which was really cool. Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, it's always fun when you can have like some of the practical stuff mixed in with the CGI as well. And yeah, I mean, just being a part of this series, I know you said you were a fan, you had watched like the movie before, but being a part of the series as an actor and just seeing how people are reacting to it so far, what does it mean to be a part of this It legacy for you?
I mean, I think it's such an honor, kind of like I mentioned before, to be a part of this. I think this universe is so incredibly detailed and there are so many like layers to it. And I think it's so cool to, like I said, see the movies and see this prequel kind of connected in some ways, but also different from each other. Yeah, such an honor to be a part of this universe. And yeah, so grateful for it. I honestly had such a incredible time working on this project. I'm so excited to see people watch it and see all the work that we put into it.
Yeah, no, I think fans are going to really enjoy it. And just to wrap things up for you, Clara, is there anything else that you'd like to say about your experience of working on the show? What can people kind of expect for the rest of the series? And then where can people stay up to date with you moving forward?
Yeah, working on this was such an incredible experience. I had so much fun. I met so many incredible people from this series and experience. I would say just stay tuned. This show definitely does not get any less crazy. It keeps you shocked and scared and super suspenseful. So yeah, keep watching.
And then as far as like, do you have like Instagram or any other social media people can follow you at?
Yeah, Clara Stack NYC on Instagram. I will definitely be posting a lot of stuff about the show and BTS. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'll make sure to put that down below in the description. That way people can give you a follow. Clara, it was so great talking to you about the show. Thank you again so much for your time and congratulations on the series. And you're welcome back anytime in the future.
Of course, thank you so much for having me. Hi, I'm Clara Stack. I play Lilly Bainbridge in Welcome to Derry, and this is Pop Culture with Pat.